All right, here we go with I don't know what this is, take number 15 at this point. I love doing this. We're going to get this in one take, folks. Whether that one take is take number 16 or take number 60, darn it, I'm gonna get this done. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Gypsy J, just having a lovely time. I hope you are. We're gonna drive around Huntsville, Alabama today, and the area we're going to explore is going to be Jones Valley. For those people who are interested in moving here or just want to know what Huntsville looks like, we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of dissect it. We're going to go through a bunch of the housing areas, and we're going to go through Madison, and we're just going to hit all these different areas around Huntsville, outside Huntsville, so you can get a good idea what Huntsville looks like and how beautiful Alabama really is. A lot of people are saying, well, why should we move there? What's the housing like? Do they have my favorite stores? Yes, they do have your favorite stores here. Hell, man, we even got an IKEA. Haven't been in it yet, but we do have an IKEA here and all the other cool stores. But that's not really what you want to know about, right? You know they're here. So what do you want to know about? I'll tell you what you want to know about. You want to take a look at the housing areas. Maybe you're interested in what the traffic looks like when you're going around Huntsville. Because, hey, people move somewhere and they're thinking, wow, this is going to be really great. And then they're in the traffic and they're like, wow, this place kind of sucks. Well, right now we are driving around on a Tuesday afternoon, and to be exact, we are driving around Tuesday at about noon, about 10 minutes after 12 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and it's not a holiday, this is just a regular day, and we are driving into Jones Valley. Now, what I really like about this place is as you come over this hill and you come in, you're going to see this beautiful view, and it is incredible. I can honestly say Jones Valley, along with a lot of places, though, be honest with you, around Alabama, around the South, very beautiful, man. Lots of gorgeous. Look at the hills back there. I thought those were mountains, but I've been informed that those are the smallest mountains this guy's ever seen, and those are called hills until you start climbing them, and then they feel like a mountain. So the hills in the background, they're beautiful, and this is Jones Valley. You're driving down in here, and off to your right is actually more housing, and I'll come back through there. I think I'm going to try and do a sweep through some of these areas one last time and make a compilation video of things that I didn't do the first time through. But anyway, as we're driving through right now, as you can see, there are housing areas off to your right, and coming up there is a plaza. There's movie theater, all kinds of sushi, all kinds of food to eat. There's plenty of stuff to eat and do here in Huntsville, whether you're into concerts or movies or whatever it is. There's lots of things. There's great malls and lots of shopping and all that great stuff, and some beautiful housing. As a matter of fact, what we did, I cut out just a little bit of the travel down the road here, but this is Jones Valley. This is, like I said, it's a nice area, and it's still growing. And I will say one thing about Huntsville, and I did see this recently. I believe they're going to repair and repave and even widen roads, up to like 60 of them. Now, I may be not remembering the number correctly, but that is what they're doing all around Huntsville, is they're doing a lot of improvements and a lot of growth. Once again, a lot of people are moving here. A lot of the tech industries are moving here. And so, there's a lot of improvements and a lot of great businesses, lots of new restaurants, all kinds of stuff are moving in here. Now, here we are. This is a buddy of mine actually lived up this road in a beautiful house. It's on the hillside, and it was so picturesque. Only one thing I truly hated about it. His driveway was one of the steepest driveways, and they have a lot of those here in Alabama. You have to be careful about that. Out of nowhere, you'll come into a neighborhood, and just one whole part of the neighborhood will have the steepest driveways, and you're thinking, well, that's not too bad. I can get up. My car gets up that. right up until you get some serious rain, or in the winter we do get ice and, you know, the occasional snowfall, and you will get your car to drift down the driveway. I put my Jeep in four-wheel drive, and I could feel it slipping getting up this guy's driveway. So that's something to think about when you're looking at homes to rent or buy here in Alabama. Make sure you're not on an incredibly steep driveway. You will regret it, trust me. Now, as you can see, we're driving down this beautiful road, and I go ahead and I take a few turns and twists here and there to just look at the neighborhood, because a lot of this is new to me. Like I said, my friend lived up in this general area, but once again, I didn't, really investigate the neighborhoods until, well, I made this video. And it's really beautiful, and, once again, it's, middle class, upper middle class. Because my buddy lived here, and I thought the rent on his house was very reasonable. I think it was $2,000 a month for a really big house. It wasn't a small house either. It was a really big house. Matter of fact, we do pass it in this video, but it's kind of hard to point out, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I do have some shorts actually in my archives. If you go back, you can see some Alabama shorts, and a few of them are made in the yard up here. But it's really beautiful, and this is this is in July, so it was hot. This is when the heat dome was around, and these are a lot of very quiet neighborhoods, lots of cool and interesting houses up through here. Once again, it's very pretty. I like driving up through here, and once again, I know that they have lots of apartments and lots of things like that for rent, and also lots of nice little corner stores. I mean, there's some nice people around here, and like I said, really some really nice stores, interesting, privately owned places. So once again, some friendly people and lots of cool stuff. I mean, little knickknacks. And one of the things they have is some really interesting, garage sales. If you're into garage sales, man, in the South, if you haven't been to a garage sale in the South, you got to check it out. People have some of the oldest, most interesting stuff. I mean, they'd be like, yeah, my old grandpapa had this. It's like, wow, and you want $1 for it. Okay, and it's a box or it's a bicycles. They have some really interesting stuff, fishing poles. If you're into hunting and stuff, there's lots of things like that. And once again, also a lot of interesting stuff for the ladies as far as like if you're into home crafts and things like that, there's a lot of that to do here in the South, Huntsville especially. They have all kinds of interesting stuff. They got lakes everywhere and all kinds of cool things to do. As you can see, here we are. We're still just randomly cruising through a neighborhood in Jones Valley. Some of these houses are really pretty. And I mean, isn't it pretty here? I mean, take a look. Absolutely, if you just look around as the car's going through, here's this, it's absolutely, Alabama is beautiful. But look, it doesn't look like Florida. If you get into Florida and you start in North Florida, you'll have some of this feel, right? But then once you're about an hour into Florida, there's the palm trees. It kind of changes. You could definitely, it's not the same as if you were in Alabama or Georgia. Georgia is beautiful as well. I mean, I think that's the thing I like about Huntsville. You're so well located as far as like, look, Huntsville, there's lots of things to do here, but people are like, hey, I want to go to Nashville, 2 hours up the road. Chattanooga, 2 hours up the road. Birmingham, hour and a half up the road. Actually, the furthest one to go is Atlanta, and that's 3 hours up the road. I do all these trips. The interstate will get you there. And the interesting thing really about Alabama and Georgia is the interstate system. I think I'm just so used to when I was in Florida that everywhere I went, I could get there with the interstate. And cruising across Alabama and across Georgia, a lot of times I find myself more on back roads, doing the old country road, and it's a lot of fun. You see a lot of interesting, really truly interesting small towns, and those are things I'm trying to bring. America has got so much cool stuff, man. If you just open up your mind a little bit when you're cruising around and just kind of look around, you will notice the most interesting buildings and, vehicles and people. I love driving around, and, I've had the luxury of living in many different countries, and a lot of these countries are beautiful and wonderful, but, what's going on here? Okay, because I saw those people just walk by, and I actually thought, did I just accidentally double up my film here? Whatever. But no, they made it all the way around the block they were walking, because they were at the beginning of this portion when I got up here. I'm sorry, I was just totally thrown off there, and I shouldn't probably leave that in the video, but I am, because that just made me go, huh? What? Did I just mess up my video? But anyway, back to Huntsville, back to the general area. It really is nice here. I've lived here, 9 years now to be exact, nearly 10. And it's not a place that I thought originally that I would move to, and I think I might end up staying here. And like I said, the people are beautiful. I like it here. Lots of nice, friendly people, and look how beautiful it is. This is summertime, and the wintertime, you get that change. And I think the nice part is that while you get winter, you're not going to get that kind of winter that you're going to get up in Tennessee, and of course, like New York or wherever, Michigan. But the cool thing is if you want to go see some snow, you can literally drive 2 hours and go check out somebody else's blizzard and then drive back home. That's real convenient. And I mean it that, it's like, I love to see the snow and all that stuff. But at the same time, do you really want to live where, have blizzards all the time? I guess if I had snowmobiles and things like that, but it's kind of cool to be able to drive just 2 hours and literally go see somebody else's blizzard and then come home. So I think that is really neat. Now, I'm going to finish up this video here we're going to go up. This is when you're first coming into Jones Valley, when I was first coming down the hillside. I cut that out, and because what I did was I actually wanted to drive. I turned up this one road, don't even know the name of the road. Once again, we are in Jones Valley, and we're past a sushi restaurant and everything over there. But this is a beautiful drive up through the hills. Absolutely gorgeous. Actually, when we get up to the top here, the one thing that I did, I made a video up at the top of this hill, and it ended up being entitled Hiking for Dummies Idiot Edition. I'm the idiot. I went hiking, and this is a warning I throw out to people, especially if you move here and you get all woodsy and you feel like you want to go off and start marching around. The one thing you got to remember is when you go out in the woods, stay on a trail. If they offer you an online map or something like that, you should get it. Make sure that you take a fully charged cell phone, water, a small emergency kit with you is what you should take when you go hiking. I followed a trail somehow, some way. I got lost. I was lost in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't freak out. I just stayed on the trail, and I ended up actually, now you can see how long we've been on this road, okay? I ended up down in Jones Valley, and these people are like, oh man, it's gonna take you a couple hours to hike back up. When I ended up coming out of the woods, I'm like, where am I at, right? This is my car's not here. This isn't where I started out at. And luckily, I got a lift from a lady. She took me all the way back up this hillside. See how far up we're going? It is gorgeous out here. But all the way up to the parking lot, which will be there in just a moment. And I felt so dumb that I hiked all the way down this hillside, which again, I think it's a mountain, but down this hillside, and ended up in Jones Valley, and I'm just standing there looking as dumb as they get. Now, I'm lucky. There have been people that have gone hiking off into the woods, and as you know, not always the best thing can happen to you, and especially you got to worry about when you're in Alabama or any place that's mountainy and woodsy like this. You can run into some seriously crazy wild animals, and I am talking about bears and panthers. You know, Florida has panthers, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see them up this way. They've got gators in Alabama. I never thought about alligators in Alabama, but you know, I thought that was just for Florida. I thought that was just for us down there, but you can find gators in Alabama and a few other things. But here we are, we're up in this parking lot, and this is actually where I took my Jeep, I parked it, and then I went hiking down this beautiful hillside into Jones Valley, and we're about to take a look at Jones Valley as the Jeep, or excuse me, this is my Bronco. We're going to pull over here and we're going to take a look over the edge, and there it is. It's absolutely it's great to get out if you want to get out in your vehicle. I didn't this time because once again, this was just sort of like, hey, check this out, you know. If you want to check out my video, it is once again Hiking for Dummies. But anyway, so this is Jones Valley, and this is the first video of, well, several, because there's a lot of cool things to see, and also, you know, people are going to have questions like, well, what's the medical, you know, facilities like in Huntsville? And we will definitely be taking a drive down through there. Now I'll throw something else out to you here. Their medical facilities are really good here. I went hiking, and there's another video on this, but I dropped dead, and I was dead for nearly more than 25 minutes. Let's put it that way, less than 30. And they brought me back. At the hospital, they did all kinds of great stuff for me. I died on a Tuesday. I went home on Saturday. I know that sounds crazy, but to me, that's how great I think the medical facilities are here in Huntsville. They have just a heart clinic. They have a really great hospital. They have with a cardiac, a rehab clinic, and just everything. And I really was impressed with how clean the hospitals, or when I say clean, how new the hospitals look is what I really meant to say. How fresh they look. I felt like I was in a quality place. The doctors were quality. Everybody who took care of me were quality, and I'm here because of it. So that stuff I want to show you is that. Of course, we're going to cruise to a lot of other cool things to see and housing areas here in Huntsville. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I talked too much, but I hope you enjoyed the scenery, and I hope this helped if you're thinking about moving to Huntsville. I am going to have more videos coming up real soon. My friends, I have run my mouth long enough. I'm Gypsy J. You know you're absolutely beautiful. And until next time, take care, be safe. I'll ta-ta for now.